Hi everybody, welcome back to Spark School. Today we have another special guest teacher and she is pretty freaking incredible. You can see her to the left of me, but let me tell you right now, this is a modern day medicine woman. Amber Jane Arquette is an energy healer. She is a speaker to the plants. She is a very good friend to Spark and also a very good friend of mine. And she knows so much more than I do when it comes to the spiritual world, when it comes to just understanding energy. And for the next couple of segments, we are going deep into different components of energy. And I had to bring on Amber Jane, so thanks for coming on.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yay!
The thing about energy is that it's not being talked about in a way that really helps everybody, make it accessible to everybody. And it's such like an important part of like the full spectrum of our life.
Yes.
Right? It can't be ignored. We feel it. We're constantly working with it, known or unknown to us. And so I'm so excited that Spark is taking on this subject in such a way that empowers everybody who does this module.
Yes. Yeah. I hope that someday, and maybe someday we can see Spark School infiltrated into like actual school. But this is something that I think could potentially be taught to like our kids at a young age. You think that would be beneficial?
Yeah, I already talked to my daughter about energy and how she's feeling and give her lots of language around it. 'Cause that's the thing, when it's something we don't have language around, then there's a big kind of mystery and an unknowing of self and the world and how we interact with both.
So let me ask you this. What would you define, just for the people that are watching this, what would you define as energy in general?
Mm-hmm. So I love that science is talking about frequency, right? Because we can all relate to frequency. And everything has like a broadcast of different, pace or rhythms of frequency. And so that's what energy really is. That's a way to measure energy and understand energy, is that our bodies have a frequency of energy. Even like the energy of this couch and the materials it was made out of. Music, of course, has frequency and energy, and then emotions. So emotions is such like a key point of energy, because we can feel when there's tension in the room. We can feel when a friend is like open-hearted and loving.
Gosh, that's so spot on. Like, and I didn't really realize like this was what it was, but going into a room of people and you can sense the energy of a room. And I didn't fully understand that really until like the last couple of years.
Yeah. So that's like feeling into the energy of the room. And we're such emotional beings. Like we get our energy from emotion. Like you think of being inspired and how it just like, this fire lights, and we just want to feel like we can't hold back. We have to go do something about it. I really like redefining energy or redefining emotions and how we can harness and utilize that energy. So think of the emotion of anger, right? Sometimes people have a lot of fear of anger because it's so big.
Yeah.
It can take over our rational mind. It can do all of these things. But the gifts of anger is totally clearing things out, gaining perspective and clarity, and having the energy to make the change, right? So we can use it in two ways. And I actually didn't think we were going to go here about energy and emotions, but this is perfect.
It's all organically flowing the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, is that we can use anger as this tool, like I'm angry right now, yet I can't do anything about it, right? So like, what is the physical thing you can do? Is it to let the emotions and the energies out of your body by exercising or going for a walk? Is it I'm going to clean my house because that needs to get done right now? So we can use and harness that energy. Or is it I need to right now like journal write out this problem, come up with a solution for it, and then start to put these things in place? Because for me, that gift of clarity that you get in those high states of emotion can be so revealing.
So they're not necessarily, I think people think, and I know I have thought this before, like those really strong emotions like anger, those aren't necessarily a bad thing.
Nope.
Okay, you just need to like really understand how to work with it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I love that. So next time like somebody cuts me off in traffic and I'm like irritated, I'm gonna get out of my car and do like 12 jumping jacks. Whoa!
There you go.
Work it out. Work it out, Rachel.
Or like turn on the music and sing really loud.
Oh, that's more my jam.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So something you talk about that I love, and you've spoken at Spark before about this, is the concept of energy hygiene.
Yes.
And I love the way that you explain like that we take care of our bodies, but we don't really take care and cleanse our energy. And can you explain more exactly what that is?
Yes. So let's go back to emotions. So if we know that emotions are these frequencies and these energy, let's even give them more than that, right? Let's give them like a snail who's walking on the forest or on the sidewalk in front of your home, and it leaves this little trail, right? You see like the little glistening trail behind the snail.
Yeah.
Well, we're like that with our energy bodies, with our emotional bodies. So as all the people on the planet are walking through, that's why for highly sensitive, malls are like really intense places to be, because you have so many people that are shopping, right? And what are some of the triggers of shopping? Not enough money in my pocket.
Stress.
Ooh, I really want this. So there's just like a lot of emotional, what I would call discharge happening in like a situation like that. There can be joyful discharge too, and I'll give you an example in a minute. So if we have all of these emotions happening and we're walking through the day, we're actually walking through other people's emotional trails. So for a very, very highly sensitive person, they might go from like, I'm feeling great. They walk out their house, they walk down the way, and all of a sudden they start getting in a funky mood, or they get on a bus, or they go to a meeting. And again, that emotional, energetic frequency of the space ends up influencing their own frequency.
Okay, that is so fascinating. So we're going to do an entire other module on what highly sensitive is and how you can protect your energy. But the concept of the snail trail, like I'm so excited that you put that into something I can visualize, and it makes so much sense. So you leave the house, you're feeling great, you go to work or get on the train or bus or whatever, and all of a sudden you're taking on other people's energies, and like you come home, and now you're saying is when we should do an energy hygiene.
Yeah.
Just like taking a shower and getting like the grime off you. So what can people do to cleanse their energy?
Yeah, so this is like, to me, in the last I don't know, maybe decade of my life, it's become so important to have energy hygiene just like I would for my body. Even for my clothes and my dishes, right? So we wake up in the morning and we go to bed tonight with some type of routine around our physical body. We definitely brush our teeth, right?
Yeah.
They just have buildup. Yeah, let's hope. And you usually are washing your clothes on a regular basis, so they're not stinky and crusty and uncomfortable for you or the other person, right? So when we're thinking about our energy body, I think of like maybe going to ride a bike. So if you're going to ride a bike and you put your pants on and you end up doing something and you get this like grease stain on your pants, like you would never not wash your pants. You wouldn't just like put them on again and be like, oh, who cares? And then you get another grease stain and be like, oh.
Unless you're my 10-year-old son.
Yeah. Okay, maybe.
Adults, maybe not, yeah.
Or even the example of like you probably wouldn't skip brushing your teeth more than twice if it was maybe you're like stuck in an airport holiday time. So for the energy hygiene in the daily there's a few examples that I can give you in my own personal routine that really help me kind of dust off, clean off others people's energy and really kind of have that sovereignty. So sovereignty is about really being in my own energy and my own power so that I can feel me more than I feel others. And one of the ways I do that is by having sage at my front or back door. It's just like an easy go-to. And so at my front door, and I'll do it with my kids or my daughter too and her friends, is when we come home from something, I know already, just like if I went bike riding or out in the mud, that I need to cleanse my energy. And so we'll do just a really quick swipe of lighting the sage and saging ourselves. If I skip that step and I come into my house, then I might do a couple other things. I love essential oils for that because they already have a high vibe frequency. They're already asking your vibration of your cells, of your energy field, your frequency to rise up to match. So you can put on a diffuser. You can use an aromatic spray for your body. The other is using crystals, which we'll definitely talk about programming crystals and how you can do that for your benefit. And then the other one is meditating. And I think just having a quiet moment where the meditation doesn't have to be super big, but just like if you're feeling super off center and feeling all the emotions, even of news. So our media also has words have frequency, so there can be influencing. So it doesn't even have to be an environment.
And it doesn't even have to be like you are physically watching the news. If somebody in your vicinity is listening to it, your subconscious mind is picking up all of that negative energy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so any environment can have a frequency. And that words give frequency, emotion give frequency. This is all like the environment. So this
is what I'm visioning, just because I'm a visual person. I'm imagining this person who left the house, went to work, got everybody else's energy, and they come back in and they've got like these little gremlins that are like clinging onto them, like, that's what I'm thinking.
That's a good visual. And I like to bring the fear factor down, right?
Okay.
So that's why I like to think of dirt. Like we'll just wash this stuff off. We don't have to beat them or like kick them out of the house or anything like that. So
I like the gremlin visual. You can go with what works for you.
Totally go with what works for you. But the gremlins are going to tell you how important it is for you to have a high vibe environment. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about going into energies and emotional environments that are influencing our own core energy. And we'll talk about in the modules how to build up that core energy from the inside out, because that's like going to be your most powerful protection is your own connection to yourself and your higher self.
Awesome.
So being able to come home and go through this kind of ritual, am I using my crystals? Am I using the essential oils? Am I saging at the front door? Am I even taking off my clothes and putting on something new? Am I taking a salt bath? Like, are you once or twice or maybe every day ending your day with a salt scrub or a salt bath? There's even a really simple trick to clear energy, which is putting cold water on your wrists. Running cold water over your wrists. So if you're out in public and you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, go into a public bathroom and then clean your hands, clean your wrists.
I've already learned so much. I thought I knew what you were going to say, and now I'm once again the student, ever learning. So what we're going to do for you guys today is we're going to have you go on from here. This week's actionable, you are going to be going through Amber Jane's suggestions on ways that you can keep your energy hygienic, how you can clear and clean your energy on a daily basis. Now, there are some things that involve some tools like sage, crystals, oils. If you don't have those yet, don't stress. You can start with the recommended meditation, which has a specific frequency in its own that will help raise your vibration and your frequency to get rid of all of the little dirty gremlins that are hanging on to you from your day.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, there's more coming from Amber Jane. We are doing a whole series on energy, and this is, I think, the perfect start. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you for having this conversation.
It's exciting. All right, Spark students, do your homework, jump in the Facebook group, and let us know what you think.